Esa chica quiere selfie, selfie, ella quiere ver. Pa' que el CB se dé cuenta que aquí perdió.
No, this mic is live.
So we're live.
We're live.
We are live here. This is I can't even see myself.
We're a little close together.
I'm assuming that.
Should we sit like this?
Hi, I'm Max.
What's up, guys? I'm Chuck. And we're here today to talk about CrossFit. I'm also looking at the monitor instead of looking at the camera, but...
What is CrossFit, Chuck?
I have no idea.
I actually met this guy at a CrossFit gym 6-7 months ago, and yeah, I had no idea what the hell was going on, huh?
Yeah, I forgot to look at the timer. I think that was the first thing.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
First rule of CrossFit, always look at the timer.
Because you don't want to have to work more or less than you have to. Just be done when the workout's done. And he's still standing around looking around and was wondering what the heck was going on. I joked about it to him. But yeah, CrossFit is a high-intense interval training program that focuses on gymnastics, conditioning, such as the row, swimming, running, things in that nature. And then also weightlifting, which is I'm a big fan of, the clean and jerk and the snatch. So it's all functional and it can be applied to just about anything on the outdoors. So that's CrossFit in a nutshell. And yeah, he's getting pretty good at it actually. Aren't you?
I don't know about that.
But yeah, so other than CrossFit, you know, a little bit about you, Chuck. You know, your swimming days and.
Yeah, so I'm an ex-American record holding swimmer. So I have a background in the pool, not on land at all. So we thought it'd be interesting today to kind of talk about, you know, some of the basics of CrossFit, get you geared up for it, and then, you know, some of the concerns and some of the different thoughts about whether it's, you know, worthwhile, whether you're going to get injured doing it, whether an athlete, like for me, for example, coming from the water to the land was just a huge change. So, you know, putting weight overhead is like something that we're not used to.
Big difference, yeah. So, I mean, going back to that whole injury prone, I've been doing CrossFit for probably 7 years now, and it's definitely revolutionized my life. But I do see where things can go wrong, especially in a big group environment, and then the coach has many people that they have to look after. But ideally, you know, you do want to have a good squat and a good overhead squat before you do a complex motion like a snatch.
Do you want to demonstrate the squat for them?
Yeah, actually. Can we do it right here on the couch? Yeah. I love the squat, so we'll have that in just a moment. But yeah, so you got the overhead squat, front squat, you know, regular squats, and just having a good understanding and being very strong in that nature. But going back to Mr. Chuck here, you know, coming out of the water there, it's much different than having gravity forcing you down and different feeling to the workouts. But so to speak, I believe CrossFit and swimming together could have a good, you know, connection. It's a good program that really conditions the body, and it's not as specific if you were to just spend time in the swimming pool itself practicing for a meet or what have you, but definitely strengthening the muscles, providing fast twitch muscle fibers, and you'll definitely see time increases as well.
Decreases,
that's right. Okay.
Do you think it's something that's dangerous for any given swimmer to just start into CrossFit? Do they need to keep things light at the start?
100%.
Do they just use a PVC pipe for?
Yeah, so based on what you have as a swimmer, once again, going to the CrossFit realm, we would want to see as a coach that a PVC pipe or a very light barbell, and you're able to perform the motion many times without any sort of movement, bad movement in the joints. And so after you're able to demonstrate that, you're well into the next phase of adding more resistance to the equation and gaining some strength from that. But I do believe from anyone that is attempting to go into a CrossFit facility to 100% get to know the coach, build the rapport, let them know that you care about your health and that you might have some issues here and there, but at the same time, there is a modification for everything. So when you're in that realm, in that competitive nature, and the bell rings and everything else just kind of goes out the window and it's you in this workout, be smart about it. Know your limitations, know your strengths. You know, don't try to beat the person next to you. If you were like me for years, just beat yourself. You know, be better than who you were yesterday. And it's a big thing that has really helped me over the past few months, is just focusing on who I am, my strengths and my weaknesses, and using people around me as a support system, but not necessarily trying to beat the person next to me.
Okay, what about, there's all different types of workouts, right? So there's EMOM, Tree Mom, BMOM.
Bi-mom, yeah, Tetramom, yeah. No,
what are all those for people that are just getting into CrossFit?
Sure.
What do they need to know?
Yeah, some things you need to know are EMOM. What is an EMOM? That's every minute on the minute. So for example, I'm gonna set the clock for 8 minutes and we're gonna do 8 squats and 5 push-ups. It usually takes anywhere from 30 to 40 seconds. You let the rest of the minute go on down, and then finally you'll do that on the next minute. So every minute on the minute, perform X amount of reps. The other section we were talking about is Tabata. So Tabata is a traditional 20 on, 10 off type of motions, and so it's intervals, but it's coined Tabata simply because of the 20 on, 10 off, and you repeat that over and over and over. Really good way to strengthen the body, condition the body as well. Then we go into those intervals as well, and that's anything outside of the 20-10. So you have 30 on, 30 off, 40 on, 20 off, you name it. That's just really good to allow the body to work and to rest and regain the ATP and have some more energy for your next bout. And then you were just talking about what? Fartlek?
Yeah, fartlek. Is that part of it?
Hold on. And lick.
God.
So yeah, fartlek is sort of like intervals, but it's combining continuous with interval training. So you have, say, like a good sprint at 80%. Think about a track. You're running around a track, you go on the curve, you sprint the curve, and then you jog the straightaway. So you're staying at a continuous pace, you're not stopping, but there are some sections that you're getting a little bit higher intense.
It's a pretty old school training methodology.
Yeah.
Do you see that in CrossFit ever?
I don't see it as much in CrossFit,
Okay.
but there are strategies for yourself. I mean, once again, say you had to go on a bike ride for 8 minutes or 15 minutes, what have you. Is it better to just stay continuous at a given pace, or should you increase the pace a little bit and go back down and have a continuous? Not stopping, going back to the fartlek. So both methods are very, very beneficial. Honestly, I think it boils down to what you're feeling at the end of the day and what's going to produce the most results in that given workout. So to specify that even more, how many calories are you able to burn in a continuous 15-minute minute pattern versus if you were to work for 15 minutes, you work and then you rest a little bit more, but the work that you're putting in is much greater than the continuous pace that you're working at.
Okay. Now, what about gear? Because I know you're notorious for wearing CrossFit gear all the time. He's got them on right now, actually.
So yeah, let's see. So no bulls. People say I'm always ready for a workout, and I think I am. But the gear, yeah, the swag.
Stretchy jeans. Got the air.
I should just came from a workout, This is my business attire. When I go to interviews, I wear this because I'm a fitness enthusiast. But the gear.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
Yeah, I'm like about all of this.
Okay, all I've heard is CrossFit revolutionized my life, and I'm a fitness enthusiast.
Yeah, so
those two things kind of sum you up.
Yeah. But going back to the gear, 80% gear, 20% skill. So if you're not wearing the right stuff, you're probably not going to do too good in CrossFit. Just kidding. Wear what you want. But so the gear is super important. You have different shoes and Olympic lifting shoes that help with the motions. There's a lot of nanos and metcons that are out there with different designs that help you with your functional movements. But just go through the products, see which one fits best for you. There's really no best answer for anyone, but those brands right there, Nanos, Metcons, Nobles that I'm wearing right now, all fantastic shoe wear. And then the gear that you wear, Rogue is a very popular company that provides clothing for CrossFit athletes. But at the same time, once again, you're there to get a great workout. So regardless if you wanted to come with a cut-up t-shirt or, some Spanx.
I was gonna say always go for fashion over function.
Fashion over function.
That's my approach, but we're different in that.
Yeah, it's better to cry in a Mercedes, not a city piece of car. No.
Okay, what else? What else is there for an intro CrossFitter?
CrossFitters.
Yeah. Maybe nutrition?
Well, there's pricing, affordability, right? Mm-hmm. Isn't an expensive program when you compare it to a $10 Planet Fitness membership, right?
Yeah.
So
it is expensive.
For those, it is a pricier product, but you get what you pay for. And that's especially if you utilize it the way you should. You do have the help that you're asking for, and you go the whole 9 yards. One thing that I've realized, if I just pay for CrossFit and I just do my 1 hour CrossFit classes, it gets you to a certain point, but then you eventually want to take the next step up. So you do have to put more focus into your training and not just do a 1 hour CrossFit class. But going back to the affordability, it is a little bit more on the higher end, anywhere from $150 to $250 a month. And you do get your money's worth if you go to class, you learn, and you create new skills, and quality of life improves.
Yeah, I'd say so. It was really fun while I was doing it.
Yeah.
I since quit because it was horrible, but...
We never had that discussion there, Chuck. Now's the time. Let's talk about it. No, I think, well, you enjoyed the whole individual style, right?
Yeah.
Like the swimming, the running.
Well, that's kind of what I'm used to. So I think before you join a CrossFit gym, and it's nothing, I was super happy with my decision to do that. But think about what your goals are as an athlete. You know, so for me, training for triathlon, I had limited time to do a lift anyway, so I wasn't going to be able to go to very many classes.
Yeah.
So it just didn't make sense at a certain point. There were X number of hours to train, and it didn't make sense to me to prioritize the weightlifting when most of triathlon is about, you know, endurance alone.
Yeah. So going back to that conversation I had before where weightlifting could potentially benefit the swimming, he's not wrong at all. I mean, when you are that specific to a sport, it might be more beneficial to focus on that sport. That's going to allow you to create those fibers and the energy systems that's required to sustain the workloads.
I used to have a coach who said runners run.
Runners run?
Yeah, like that's what you do.
And one thing you realize coming from an Olympic swimmer, you put him onto the dry land, this guy can't run to save his life. Are you kidding me?
Hey, I'm getting better, bro.
He is getting better. But we took a couple laps around this building, and you know, I was beating him to say the least, and that's not good.
Yeah, let's talk about whose heart rate was higher though.
Okay, yeah, all right. So yeah, maybe I was pushing.
Someone was about to have a heart attack. I was sitting at 120.
120, and I was like 150 maybe. So yeah, if you do talk in terms of that, I was going to stop pretty soon, but I was pushing it. Yeah, pretty cool. Oh yeah, so like individual workouts, and one good thing about the CrossFit aspect is that you do build friendships and communities, and hence to why we're here today, sitting here talking with you guys, is that we created a really good friendship in a work environment that we both love, working out, exercise, increasing our quality of life. But no matter what, whatever route we took, we still had that common connection of increasing our health. So.
Also, Max was just the loud, annoying guy in class.
Still am. That will never change.
So it was inevitable that he would talk to me.
I'm like a leech now.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
So let's talk about nutrition, I think. Would that be cool? We can move to the kitchen.
Yeah. Let's actually take it over to the kitchen now.
Okay.
Oh, we don't get to see the picture in the background.
Oh, well. It's fine. Oh.
And then you remember? Here we go.
Oh, I went too low. Is that good?
No, that's good. Oh, you can't see it, can you?
So we're here to talk about nutrition.
Bowls, actually. It's cucumbers. You can't really see it. Nutrition in a nutshell. These are cucumbers.
No pun intended.
May I have one?
Yeah.
Yeah, no pun intended there. Cheers.
Well, let's talk about nutrition related to CrossFit. So if you're a beginner to CrossFit, what are the things, because they stress certain things, right? Mm-hmm. And there's that keto diet.
Yeah.
Or similar diets.
So keto, it's not the keto one. It is paleo.
Paleo.
That's what they go based off. And just think about a caveman before all these processed foods and all the additives to it. You go back to the natural, the vegetables, the homegrown from Mother Earth, your nuts, seeds for your fat sources, as well as your proteins and all the meats you can think about. No sugar. Try to stay away from sodas and bad Pop-Tarts and sugary products, things of that nature. Yeah, like Monsters here. But you can have one every once in a while. So yeah, CrossFit is helps you understand that. So if you were to talk about losing weight, gaining muscle, and you're kind of overweight, right? I would want that person to focus on their nutrition starting out. You know, I would want them to change their habits, whether it's the calorie intake, are you eating too much? Are you eating too less? What is your resting metabolic rate? You know, after you have that information, we then want to fill your body with the proper nutrients, the quality of it, right? And so once you start doing that, best believe not only are you going to feel better, but you're going to see the results go on.
Got it. So what would be the top recommended foods that kind of fall into that? You mentioned just seeds, nuts.
Yeah, so
We don't have any of those things.
we don't have any of those things, but going back to the seeds and the nuts,
Healthy
it's
fats.
healthy fat source. So for you that know what this is called an avocado. So
We
the
got a pop up of an avocado during just in case they can't see it. Yeah.
So the avocado is a really good fat source. It provides long-lasting energy, but you have to be careful. Why? Because 1 gram of fat provides 9 calories. So for those that love to just chomp on their healthy nuts and seeds, which is great, before you know it, you may have eaten 600 to 800 calories after 5 handfuls. Most of us probably aren't doing that, but if you're not aware of it, 9 calories for every gram of fat. So yeah, have your avocados, stay away from butter, margarine, things in that nature. You know, it does make the food taste a little better, but if you're dousing it over everything, then you might not get the weight loss you want.
What about bulletproof coffee? Do you know what that is?
I don't know too much about it, but I believe it's
Like
just...
coffee with a stick of butter in it.
Is that what it is?
It's basically that.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard a little bit about it, a stick of butter in the coffee.
Okay,
Not
I'm
for me.
exaggerating. It's not a full stick of butter, but you
you
get
know,
the point. Yeah.
If you're a coffee person, you know, enjoy what you like, whether it is a stick of butter in coffee or you're half and half in creamer.
Well, is that a healthy fat or is that?
Oh, well, so coffee, sorry, excuse me.
Or the butter. The butter's not good for you.
So the butter, no, not as much. Yeah, so you have trans fat, you have, monosaturated, polysaturated. The mono and the polysaturated fats are the ones that you do want to have. And examples of that are your nuts and seeds and avocados. And what was I just eating this morning? It was walnuts. If you look at walnuts, they have a great amount of those 2 sources I was just explaining. And really good for the processes in the body and once again, long-lasting energy.
Walnuts.
Walnuts.
I'm pretty excited about that.
Walnuts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn walnuts.
Those
It's
damn
just the
walnuts.
greatest thing. So get your walnuts, people. And then we were talking about protein earlier.
Yeah, so
A
that
couple different sources.
kind of covers the fats, but now onto the proteins. So right here we have some shish kebabs, okay? You know, think about protein
Sound like I
as,
open that up.
and we'll probably spill it all over the place, but this is prepared food, right? It's not McDonald's, it's not fast food. It's nutritious, it's delicious, but let's focus back on our
Sounds so
protein.
good.
Are you cooking that for me?
I hope so. We should go grill out.
Okay.
That should be the next phase of the video.
That'll be the next phase. We're going to teach you how to grill.
We'll grill out, have some brews.
We'll get to that in a
Yeah, we'll
second.
talk about that.
So protein, what is a protein? It is the building blocks to your muscles. And, you know, they recommend 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per body fat. So for example, 185 pounds, typically I want to have 185 grams of protein. But that can change as your goals change as well. And different weight loss and muscle growth. But to keep things simple, try to get protein throughout the day and eat protein soon after your workout as well, because you are in a catabolic state. So if you just finished your hard 1-hour workout or a long swim in the water, try to get out and have either a protein powder.
Whey protein. I think this is organic plant-based protein powder.
And that's a whole different topic we can go down.
Yeah.
You want to go down that
Whole
rabbit hole?
different rabbit hole. Maybe we keep it simple here.
Yeah, there'll
We're
be
just
another
doing an
discussion
intro.
about it. But protein in your catabolic state really helps the muscles feed and it rebuilds. And it's a timely process, so don't be in a rush.
What do you have, like an hour and a half to
No, it says 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Yeah, so
Wow.
not to like stress anything out about like getting your workout, getting fed, but yeah, if you prepare and you have things already in place, you know when you're working out, you have your food already prepped, it shouldn't be too bad. And then carbohydrates.
Yeah.
That's our third one. So
Got some fruit, right?
yeah. So when we talk about carbohydrates, that is a lot of different sources, but it is your immediate source of energy. So some recommendations for carbohydrates would be fruit and vegetables. Okay, the more fruit and the more vegetables you eat, the healthier you will be.
Which don't sound like carbohydrates at all, right?
They don't.
You
They
think
don't.
pasta?
Yes, okay, that's a really good point. So rice, pasta, bread, cereal, all that.
The best things in life.
Yeah. But, you know, if you are accustomed to eating that on a regular basis, it's super important to make sure you get the vegetables necessary. And that's another thing. Vegetables have micronutrients in them that a lot of the pastas, breads, and rice don't possess.
And
so
that was one of the things when I spoke with the street magician, David Blaine / endurance artist.
Okay.
That was one of the things that he stressed, because when I met him, he was probably 100 pounds overweight.
Was he really? And poof!
If he ever sees this, he'll probably kill me. But
sorry, David Blaine.
But he'll pull some crazy wizardry on us. But he went from that to elite level athlete form for one of his stunts within maybe 3 to 4 months.
Was that the holding the breath one in the tank?
Yeah. And when he was training for that, I had spoken with him, and he said the biggest thing that he focused on was micronutrients. And he actually, we won't do it in this video just because it's a, introduction to CrossFit. But he did have a recommendation for a pretty absurd smoothie it was everything from like ginger to kale to apple cider vinegar, spinach.
Wow.
So we should probably do a test run of that in one of these videos.
I'm all about testing out and experimenting. And I think that's huge is experimentation, because what works for me and what works for Chuck is not simply going to work for you either. But if you do take these general recommendations and relating it back to CrossFit as well, making better nutritional habits out of yourself, you will see and feel results.